From the ashes of the original Blue Protocol rises Star Resonance, a reborn anime MMO that promises to capture old fans, attract new ones, and survive in a genre littered with ambitious flops. But will it be more than just a pretty face with paywalls and problems? No. No, it will not. Let's continue. The original Blue Protocol launched in Japan in June 2023, with plans for a Western release via Amazon Games. It was developed by Project Sky Blue, a coalition including Bandai Namco Online and Bandai Namco Studios. However, in August 2024, Bandai Namco announced the shutdown of Blue Protocol's Japanese servers and cancelled the Western rollout. As part of restructuring Bandai Namco Online, the studio behind Blue Protocol was absorbed into Bandai Namco Entertainment in 2025, so the original Blue Protocol essentially ended, but its franchise didn't disappear. Blue Protocol Star Resonance was developed by Shanghai Bokura Network Technology, which is a subsidiary under Tencent. It's explicitly framed as a reimagined version of the old Blue Protocol, not exactly a sequel, but a spiritual reboot. The game is cross-platform, PC through Steam and Epic, and Android and iOS devices with cross-play support. It features deep character customizations, a vibrant anime aesthetic, exploration, open-world systems, and life skills like gathering, crafting, etc. are included. One major technical caveat is that Star Resonance carries the baggage from its predecessor. The original Blue Protocol struggled with repetition, balance, communication, and monetization. Does Star Resonance live up to or diverge from the promise? Is the Rebirth real or just polished scaffolding over these same old MMO problems? The community is incredibly divided between both admiration and outrage in equal measure. Players say the user interface feels like a maze of menus within menus. Even simple actions like claiming rewards take multiple clicks. This cluttered design reminds many of Phantasy Star Online 2's early days, where convenience was buried under complexity. It's especially frustrating because Final Fantasy XIV proved that clean UI design makes or breaks the MMO experience. Still, no one can deny how stunning this game looks. The cel-shaded anime visuals are vibrant, colorful, and reminiscent of Ni no Kuni or Genshin Impact. Even frustrated players admit it's one of the most visually gorgeous MMOs on the market today. If nothing else, it is a breathtaking world to get lost in. Content locked behind real-time timers has angered a lot of players. You can't progress freely, zones, quests, and activities open only after specific days. While mobile games like Genshin use time gates for pacing, it feels out of place in a PC MMO. Players expected freedom, not a countdown clock. One area everyone agrees on is the music. The soundtrack brings every region to life, switching from tranquil orchestral tones to upbeat adventure themes. Many compare it favorably to Final Fantasy XIV's score, which is a huge compliment. It is one of the rare MMOs where players say they stop just to listen. From Rose Orbs to Luno and Meowlux tickets, players feel like they need an accounting degree just to shop. This is a valid issue. Complexity can hide predatory monetization. Games like Diablo Immortal and Black Desert made similar mistakes early on. When your menu feels like a spreadsheet, players can start checking their bank balance before logging in. Despite the early slow pace, combat does evolve into a satisfying rhythm of combos, dodges, and skill rotations. Players love how each class, Mage, Striker, Stormblade, and others, have their own unique flow. It reminds many of Lost Ark or Final Fantasy XIV's cooperative dungeon battles. The flashy particle effects make every encounter feel cinematic. As usual, the most divisive feature is the optional auto battle system. Some feel it cheapens the core gameplay, turning fights into passive spectacling. Others defend it as a simple farming tool similar to Black Desert's AFK combat. It ultimately comes down to whether you value convenience or control. Players do love the robust character creator, filled with sliders, hairstyles, and facial options. You can build anything from a battle-ready anime warrior to a cute idle adventurer. It doesn't reach Black Desert's realism, but it's expressive and stylish. Many say it's one of the best parts of the game. Players outside North America, especially in the European region, suffer from lag and delayed inputs due to a single global server. Ping over 100 milliseconds makes combat clunky, especially for reaction-based classes. For a game built around precision and teamwork, this is a serious technical failure. Even fans agree that regional servers should have been a launch priority day one. The open world is filled with beauty, treasure chests, and small parkour puzzles. It's not the most interactive MMO, but it encourages players to take in the scenery. Some call it a screensaver MMO, but they mean that as a compliment. It's the kind of place you log into just to unwind. The lack of full voiceovers hurts immersion. Players expected cinematic storytelling like Genshin Impact, but most scenes are just silent text boxes. Some Japanese voice clips even sound bit crushed or unfinished, and it makes the world feel less alive than it looks. Players enjoy seeing others around the world dancing, emoting, fishing, or joining raids. The social vibrancy recalls the golden age of MMORPGs like MapleStory and Final Fantasy XIV, and it feels like a shared space again, not a single-player gacha. That sense of community gives Star Resonance some genuine heart. Now, while the art style shines, character movement can feel stiff and mechanical. Many cutscenes look static, with characters barely animating beyond mouth flaps, and players compare it to a slideshow next to Honkai Star Rail's cinematic quality. It's clear some polish was sacrificed to hit the global release window. Now, while auto systems may annoy some, others praise it for accessibility and convenience. They make the game easier for casual players or mobile users juggling limited time. It's not mandatory, and manual players can ignore it entirely. The system gives players control over how much effort they want to invest. So the first few hours feel repetitive. Enemies die in seconds, and there's very little challenge. This has driven many players to quit before reaching any meaningful content. However, late-game raids reportedly require actual coordination. Still, the onboarding experience needs work to keep players hooked. Despite multiple currencies, most cosmetic and summon systems can be earned in-game. It's not pay to win, more like pay to save time. Compared to Diablo Immortal or Black Clover M, the system is generous early on. Free-to-play players can experience most of the game without paying a dime. Now, the storyline does feel a bit generic. It's filled with endless text boxes, slow pacing, and repetitive fetch quests over and over again. Here, the narrative often serves as filler between combat and time gates. It's functional, but it's far from memorable. Now, that being said, even the critics will admit that the framework does have potential. The class system, the art, the co-op structure could evolve into something special with some steady updates. Final Fantasy XIV had similar issues at launch, but improved significantly over time, and many updates and reworks. So if Star Resonance follows that path, this rough start might be only its first chapter. Blue Protocol Star Resonance is a paradox. It's both beautiful and broken, generous yet confusing, ambitious yet uneven. Some see it as a gorgeous anime world worth exploring, others see it as a monetized shell of lost potential. Whichever side you land on, it's clear this game has started a conversation, one that could shape the next era of anime MMOs. If it learns from its feedback instead of ignoring it, Star Resonance could still find its harmony.